Hello, viewers, and welcome back to another episode of A Old Man with a Smartphone. In this episode, I am going to talk a bit more in depth about the system I have and the progress I've recently made. I'm going to show my load center. This has two of the circuits installed. These are the circuits that go upstairs, and they'll be running a fridge and a air fryer on one circuit, and a freezer and 4-slice toaster or other essentials on a freezer plug. So basically a fridge plug with an extra and a freezer plug with an extra. I'm also going to tie in this box. It's not even connected or mounted to the wall yet. I just stuck it there to see what I think of it, and I think that's where I'm going to put it. I'll run the wiring underneath this board up along the top and bring it into my load center from more than likely this knockout right up here. And then this will be close to done. I have to tie the dryer plug into the 30 amp panel, or into the 30 amp breaker, and that should be that. In a previous video, I had mentioned some of the struggles I had had with this unit. It was shutting down for about 1 minute at a time, and it was kind of struggling. I've solved that, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I did put the video out about it, and one of my viewers left me a nice comment, a few paragraphs long, and it is for that particular viewer I'm making this video now. In the comment the viewer left me, the viewer mentioned I didn't give a lot of information about this system for anybody to really think about it and diagnose issues. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you're right. So here it is. The battery bank is 8 LifePo 4 320 amp hour cells, connected now in series from top to bottom, each of the 4, and then paralleled between into the bus bars there. The cabling being used is AUT1 cable, so it's good and thick. I happen to have a whole bunch because, well, I had an Amazon issue and wound up reordering, and then both orders came in and they really beat up the credit card on that one, but now I have it and I'm not crying. So we have 8 320 amp hour cells in series and parallel. I made that rather aggressive. I do not have a whole battery balancer. How I normally go about balancing these cells is I just simply reduce all of my loads and overcharge the ever-living hell out of them for a whole day until I know I've got kilowatts of solar coming in and the batteries won't accept anything. The way they're pretty aggressively wired in, series and parallel, according to the manual, that allows for the best power sharing, and they should remain balanced. Like, they'll only come out of balance a little bit, and when you fully charge them to their maximum, you're more or less balancing them. So those come up. The cabling to feed this from the battery is AUT1 as well. This cable, it's not AUT1. I can't remember, but it's certainly adequate for what we're doing here. There it is in reference to my finger, so it's, it's pretty thick stuff. These ones up here, I don't want to get my, oh, no, I do have this powered off, so I can start licking components, that's right. These wires here, the 2 leads that go upstairs, these are 12 gauge. And the wire I'm going to run to this panel back here is going to be just your standard roll of 14-2. I'll do the rest of my circuits in the 14-2. I just wanted to make sure these 15 amp breakers are coming out and 20 amp breakers are going to replace them because I'm old, I'm forgetful, and mostly a nincompoop. I was in the store today buying stuff and I didn't get, I walked out of there without buying the 20 amp breakers. Yeah, I'm old. I'm allowed to do things when I'm old. So I've got the old service loop and these run all the way upstairs. This cable here, this goes to grid power, and how I draw from the grid, I have it running along the roof to a junction box where it's just simply tied in. It comes down and it just simply plugs in. You can unplug it or plug it in all you want. That's my quote-unquote grid tie, is just simply plugged into my dryer outlet. One of the circuits I am going to be running from this box is a new dryer outlet, and I'll plug my dryer into that. I'm going to move the laundry room around a little bit. And I think, just for fun, most of the circuits I have in my house that I commonly use, I'll be able to run those on my own power. This other cable, that one runs out the window here. That's a mouse chewed a hole in my screen, and I've been grateful since because it gives me a lot of room to run stuff. That goes outside to a generator. I'll show that a little bit later. Now getting on to this. The issue I had happened to be a setting inside of it. I was under the impression this unit was brand new, and it was not. It was previously enjoyed. And I'm not complaining about that, but the person had set up the Wi-Fi dongle, and I wasn't able to set up a Wi-Fi dongle and get any of that done on my own. I had to go through Lux Power tech support. I was up until about 4:30 a.m. Sending emails back and forth a bunch, trying to understand it better. And they wound up advising me that it was under somebody else's name. So they took that out. They set me up with an account. I've been able to get in. And once I was able to get into the proper app and get everything up to date, I noticed that the battery settings for grid and that sort of thing were not right. Now, the app is not overly intuitive, so I had to play with it for a while and observe what was happening. But I did eventually get enough of it figured out. And now I have this running exactly how I want. It's being a very good piece of kit. Solar wires coming in, and I kind of just have them tucked behind there, but that's 10 gauge wire, and it shouldn't ever see amperage higher than about 14. I rely on, high volts, not high amps. And we'll pause here. I'll take you outside and I'll show you the solar array. So this is my solar array. There are 6 445 watt panels. Well, 3 445 watt panels, 3 450 watt panels. But I'll just call them 6 445s because that's what it's going to work out to be. The stand is 18 feet long, and I think it was 8¼ feet wide, and they're just all wired up in series so that I can get the maximum voltage possible. comes into this box here, just a single strand in and single strand out, and of course it's grounded down and past all the dog poop to a grounding spike you can kind of see in the center of your screen. And then this is the generator wire, and it just comes and plugs in. I bought this generator for I think $450 or $500 as a non-running generator, and I took it apart and did some fixing, and now it's a well-running generator. I'm going to find the cable connection for right here so that I can plug in the remote switch and hook that into the 6000 XP, and hopefully I can run some tests and get this to start the generator, or get my 6000 XP to start the generator and power a load. So my system's beginning to get a little bit sizable, and this is where my wires come in. You know, for a hobby, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand, but you know, I'm old and I can't dance, so what else do you expect me to do? Other than that, that's all I have for right now, YouTube. And when I'm done tying in the rest of my loads, I'll make another video and show it off. Aside from that, that's all for now. Have a great day. Please go ahead and leave comments in the comment sections. That's what makes this so much fun. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I do all of this right out of my own pocket. So the comments are very helpful and valuable for me. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.